All right, we are back on Get Up. We are 6 days from the NFL trade deadline. And so I want to do a little something here called Who Would Peter Call? And with the most flattering photo we could possibly, and I mean that seriously.
I know.
We just put a picture of Bradley Cooper in the wall and said,
great,
it's going to be Peter. But anyway, so we got our insider, we got our front office executive.
All right, here we go.
You're going to tell me, if you right now, as we're approaching the deadline, you tell me what phone call you would make if you were working in an NFL front office, and we'll see what Lewis thinks of it. What's number one?
If I'm the San Francisco 49ers, they just acquired Keon White from the Patriots, I am calling the Cincinnati Bengals, and I'm calling every day, and I'm saying, what will it cost to get us Trey Hendrickson? We know the injuries have hit them. We also know they're still in the thick of this. I think Trey Hendrickson right now, the Bengals, and I know this because teams are calling, Bengals are saying, he's not for sale. Let's see if they lose this Sunday, and suddenly Trey Hendrickson might be for sale. 1-year deal, half the season left. If the season's going south, do the Bengals try to get a second round or third round pick for this veteran asset? If I'm the Niners, yes, Keon White's a nice piece, I guess. Yeah. But for all the injuries, gosh, Trey Hendrickson down the stretch against the Rams and the Seahawks, huge piece.
I love it from that side. What do you think?
It makes sense to me. It makes sense to me. I'd also be trying to call the Raiders right now and see if I could get Max Crosby.
Yeah.
Although I'm sure that they would rebuff me. I'll tell you what, Trey Hendrickson, there's another team that I'd be picking up the phone right now and calling Cincy and see if I can get him. That'd be Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Look, Lou Anarumo should go ahead and see if he can get his old guy back in there. Exactly. And see if he can get him in the fold with Latu. I'm telling you.
Here's the question I want to ask you, though.
I hear you.
Look, so many teams could use Trey Hendrickson, obviously.
Yeah.
And the Bengals lost this past weekend might have been the worst loss of the NFL season so far. A 2-touchdown lead against a team that was winless, and you wind up losing. But the division is still in reach. Like, if you're Cincinnati, are you trading away your defense is so bad, I guess, even with him. Like, should they be, if they lose this weekend, should they trade him?
I would be thinking about doing it. Look, I don't know. Look, Cincinnati's so unconventional. They do things that kind of sometimes make you scratch your head and sit there and go, what is your team building philosophy? But if he's on the block, hey, call Indianapolis yourself. See if they want.
I love it. I love that one. Let's go to the next one here. The Dallas Cowboys are in desperate straits. What do we do?
They're horrendous on defense right now. That is the nicest way I can put it. And yet you look at it and they look clueless also. I'm calling the Saints, and I'm calling for a 36-year-old linebacker, Demario Davis. I just need a veteran leader out there right now at this point. Yes, we know that they got Kenny Clark, and that's who Jerry was so excited about. What is happening in the back end, and who is calling the shots? To me, Demario Davis, 36 years old, last year of a contract, Saints going nowhere. It's a good win for both of them. Put them on a team that can at least contend.
What do you think?
Yeah, here's the only problem with DeMario, though. You just wonder how much tread does he have left on the tires, and he's one of the people I respect the very most as far as linebackers are concerned. So if I'm looking for a trade for Dallas right now, I'm looking for a guy who can help me now and a guy in the future. How about Devin Lloyd down Jacksonville? How about if he was on the block with the way my man can play the run and the pass, and as young as he still is in a contract year, that may be a call that I'd be trying to make.
I hear you, but I get the thinking, Peter, and I like it. They need an adult in the room.
Yeah, that's true.
To see if they can salvage their season. All right, one more. Steelers.
Pittsburgh made a move overnight. They got Kyle Duggar on the back end. Deshaun Elliott goes to the IR, but I don't think they can be done. I'm calling the Jets, and I'm going to Aaron Rodgers' old teammate, and I'm asking for Quincy Williams. Yes, Quinnen Williams, his brother's the bigger name. Quincy's an all-pro linebacker.
Very good.
They need help everywhere, and to me, if the Jets are in sell mode, Breece Hall's the sexier name. I get that. He puts up the fantasy numbers. Quincy Williams might be the more valuable asset that you can actually get something.
I'm all over that one. Him and Patrick Queen together, that's pretty good right there. Look, Quincy is an absolute dynamo. Just check on his health, make sure he's good to go as far as his longevity is concerned, and go ahead and see if you can make that happen.
Those are very good. I like all those, to be honest with you, Peter. As we talk about the Steelers and we talk about the Bengals, I want you to hear this. I thought it was fascinating. I was watching Bruce Arians on Pat McAfee's show yesterday and talking about the situation in the AFC North. Just listen to what he said.
This was supposed to be the best division in football. They got one team with a winning record of 4-3. All right, that's not good. And they got to play each other. 9-8 might win the division. Whoever wins the division gets to come back next year. I think the other three are probably looking for a job.
Okay, so I think he's mostly kidding, obviously, right? He's just trying to be cheeky, and that's fun, and that's sort of the vibe of the show. But I think there was sort of also an underlying thread of interesting. You know, like in Baltimore, they've been chanting about the coach, and in Pittsburgh, we know how long there have been questions there. I mean, John Harbaugh and Mike Tomlin are among the longest tenured head coaches in NFL history. Do you think we could be seeing the end of one or both of these eras?
I mean, I think it's possible. I would tend to hedge. They would make them make moves in their organization before those two. But when you're talking about teams that aren't winning when it counts the most, right? Like Harbaugh comes into the season. People talked about arguably the best roster in football, and they have a slow start. Now they turn it around, different kind of. But Tomlin, he highest paid defense. There's a defensive team. They run the ball. They stop the run. They play good defense. None of those things have come to fruition. They go get a 40-plus-year-old quarterback to save their season. It feels desperate, and they're not playing as well as they need to be playing.
Specifically, you played for John Harbaugh in Baltimore. What is your sense?
Well, I would say the same thing about both of them is they're both CEO, manager types, and that doesn't seem to be the problem. Like, these organizations aren't like a mess. Like, there are on-field issues that, particularly the defense with the Ravens has gotten a lot better, but I think both of these coaches have shown an ability to adapt. If there's something to fix the thing that needs to be fixed. Don't just throw out a coach because you haven't achieved what you expected.
I always remember Jeff would always sit at this desk whenever we talk about head coaches on the hot seat and say, who are you going to hire?
That's
Who
right.
are you going to replace them with?
Exactly
It's easy
right.
to say get rid of somebody, but who are you bringing in? And is there any guarantee that the new person will get this team where it has to be? So,
Obviously not, and I understand what you're saying, and I think both of them would become immediate hot commodities if they were to leave. But I want to put this full screen up, Cindy, if we can, just to give everyone a sense. Sometimes change just comes. These are the longest coaching tenures with one franchise in NFL history. I want you to sort of look closely at these names, because the only ones above Tomlin and Harbaugh, there's only one of those on this screen, Bill Belichick, who coached in this millennium.
Yeah.
All the rest, I mean, Curly Lambeau's literally 100 years ago. Steve Owen, these are, what I'm trying to say is tenures of this length just don't happen in the NFL. They're not going to coach forever.
I mean, I think that's an excellent graphic to show that this is unique, but it doesn't mean that's a bad thing.
No.
Like, I think that saying that other teams don't do it, like, who are these teams that you're trying to emulate?
Yeah.
You don't want to emulate these teams that's turning over a new head coach, sorry, Greenie, every 3 years. That's
sure.
not something that you want to copy. So, like, I think it's very hard to find this type of stability. If, for some reason, you feel like they've lost the locker room, that's a reason to change.
Yeah.
Because your fans are mad or a little upset, or because one side of the ball or other is not achieving what you expect, throwing out everything and starting from round one when you have stability doesn't always make sense.
Quick final
a
word.
couple weeks ago, people were really high on the Steelers. Like, okay, Aaron Rodgers is doing just enough. And the defense has faltered. These players, they say they love playing for Tomlin, play better.
Yeah.
It's really that simple. You're getting paid a lot of money to be better.
Yeah, someone has to win it. And the point that he made, 9-8 might win that division, it absolutely might. I will take a short time out. So much more football to come. The numbers say the season is in the balance for the boys. We'll explain why the D in Big D is on the brink of standing for done. All that and a whole lot more as we roll on. It's Get Up on ESPN.